Okay guys, it's time for another one of these Habs news update thingamajiggies, and in today's video we got quite a bit of stuff to cover. The Habs are back in Montreal right now. They had a practice today, Ducharme would address the media today and lay all the beans out on the table. We've got some injury updates, we've got some interesting comments about a rebuild to take a look at. We've also got our 420th Carey Price update in the past couple of months, and much more. But first, before we begin, if you're a fan of the Habs, or when Pizzetta steps out onto the ice, you find yourself acting like a girl at a Beatles concert, then please consider subscribing to my channel, as I upload a ton of hockey content and would really enjoy having some more of you grasshoppers tag along for the ride. Now, first up on the list here, let's get this confusing goaltending shit out of the way. Michael McNiven is back on the taxi squad. He did have his moment of torture against the Wild, and they figured that was enough, and tossed him back in the trunk of the team's taxi. As for Samuel Montembeault, who just a couple of days ago, according to Renaud Lavoie, probably needed a wrist surgery, well, guess what? He's back on the ice. It's a miracle. His wrist is feeling better every day. He's good, that guy. Maybe they found a miracle drug, or maybe they just used Lakota, or maybe it was just tender love and care from you-know-who. Your guess is as good as mine. So who knows, maybe we might see Monty back this weekend, depending on how that wrist is feeling, of course. As for Carey Price, according to Habs goaltending coach Eric Raymond, Carey Price is working hard to come back and has been frustrated with the slow process of his knee rehab. He was hoping to be back a couple of months ago, but all signs are that he's progressing now and he wants to play. Now as for me, again, I'd still be surprised if we seen him return this season. I don't know, every time he gets close, he goes MIA again. But hopefully I'm wrong and he comes back and he looks pretty good. Moving on, Habs prospect defenseman Josh Brook has been finally taken off of injured reserve, and he's been assigned to the Laval Rocket. I'm a big fan of Brooks, so that's good stuff. We also got Teasdale returning to action in Laval. He's been out for a very long time. He's had multiple knee injuries now, and this guy is beginning to feel like he's cursed. He would even go as far as changing his number to 24 just because the old number gave him bad luck, and now he's got Odeline's number. Not too shabby. As for the other injury updates with Montreal, Joel Edmondson has been rehabbing at the gym, but there's still no time frame on when this guy's going to return. Meanwhile, we got Yoel Armia and Cole Caulfield practicing in Wisconsin due to being placed on COVID protocol. However, these two lads may actually be flying back to Montreal and could even return to action this weekend. This is a bit of a random thought, but when these two guys fly together, I'm wondering if Armia gets to bring him on board the plane as a carry-on. You know, it's cheaper on Molson. Moving on, both Brendan Gallagher and Paul Barron will not play tomorrow night, but apparently these guys will likely be ready for the game Saturday as well. So you know what that means? There could be a lot of familiar faces back in action on Saturday. However, two guys who will most likely not be in the lineup anytime soon are Christian Dvorak and Jonathan Drouin. Both of these guys weren't at practice today. They admitted that Drouin's injury seems pretty serious. It's an upper body injury and he's out indefinitely. And apparently Dvorak took a therapy day. But I'm willing to bet that he's probably still seeing birds flying around that aren't actually there. Now, on to some very sad news. This is not easy, guys. I'm sure some of you are going to lose your mind. But Sami Niku has been placed on waivers. Holy shit, let it out, okay? Let it all out. I know you're crying, but can you imagine being a defenseman and not being able to crack a D like that? Jeez. But yeah, Niku is on waivers. He may get claimed, who knows? Because honestly, a lot of general managers around the league are probably thinking about picking this guy up just for the flow. So he's definitely got that going for him. Now I've also got a tweet to share from another one of these player agents. His name is David Edidgui. Nailed it. And David seems to think that Jeff Gorton and Kent Hughes are going to make some kind of an announcement within the next few weeks and confirm to the fan base that they're going to go ahead with a rebuild. Now, whether or not this guy is just talking out of his ass, who knows? That's for you to decide. But all I know is, I hope he's right. Because I think a rebuild is the right direction right now. As a Habs fan, we've seen retool after retool after retool. I'm sick of watching the hamster spin in the cage. And I personally want a rebuild. Also, on the way to work this morning, I listened to Elliot Friedman's 30-something Tots podcast. And he seems to think that Ben Chiarot is going to be the first guy moved by Kent Hughes. And for some sick reason, he kept mentioning the Leafs. He would say that when Ben Chiarot was a UFA back a few years ago, the Leafs pushed pretty hard for Chiarot, but they couldn't get a deal done, and the Habs came in and grabbed him. So now he thinks that Ben Chiarot is still a guy that the Leafs are interested in. Again, can you guys picture Chiarot in a Leafs jersey? No. Jeez, that would feel like 7 or 8 Jackie Chan kicks to the balls. That's some pretty gross stuff. Anyway, guys, that does it for this Habs news update. I hope you all enjoyed. If you didn't, I hope somebody takes a piss in your carton of apple juice. And I'll see you next time.